Well, hey now, Fitz here from Fitz's Electric Bar. I am doing my singles going steady. I don't even know what number it is. I'm just kind of in the mood to knock one out, as it were, and grab 10 singles. Again, for my collection, I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through my singles collection. And enjoy doing this because it reminds me actually of what I have. And I often pull these out and start listening to them again. I haven't been listening to these for a long time. I had my vinyl collection put away for quite a long time and was listening to CDs. And one of the great things when I moved a couple of years ago was to resurrect my vinyl collection. Been really just enjoying having and buying vinyl. And I've actually been buying a lot of vinyl and starting to wonder whether it's becoming a bit of a problem. You know, some of us during some of these videos, will do a little bit of self-analysis in terms of like, why am I buying? Am I buying too much? You know, am I going beyond my budget? And the desire for ownership is so great, even though there's never been a time when owning music is less important from the perspective of we have access to it all through streaming platforms. And the quality can be fantastic if you've got a good streamer and stuff like that. But there is something tactile and wonderful about physical vinyl. And on top of that, I think there's something about owning vinyl or actually owning something physical that is, I don't know, it feels good. I mean, it must be the same reason why people who love books love to have a library, you know, when you can go to the library, you know, public library and take stuff out. Anyways, enough philosophizing. Here are my singles going steady. First one we've got, The Bitterest Pill I've Ever Had to Swallow, The Jam. Backed with Alfie and Fever, the famous old tune Fever. Got quite some good reflection here. This is a very shiny cover. So The Jam, The Bitterest Pill I've Had to Swallow. You know, it's fun going back. A lot of the early Jam stuff I don't listen to as much now. I've mentioned this before, but just not necessarily in the mood always for hard driving sort of punk power pop stuff. But one of the things I have been really enjoying is going back and listening to quite a bit of Style Council. I really enjoyed Style Council when they came out, but I also find that eminently listenable now in this stage of my life. Fun Boy 3. This is The Lunatics Have Taken Over the Asylum. Faith Open Charity, I think, is the B-side. A-side, The Lunatics Have Taken Over the Asylum. Oops. Good stuff. We lost Terry Hall this year, or last year, I guess. And I just saw him on the last tour the Specials did here in Canada anyways. And sad to see his passing. This is very much one of those punk singles from way back when, Slaughter and the Dogs. Cranked Up Really High. Some of these are kind of fun to look at because I didn't look at them really super clearly. So British band. Cranked Up Really High with The Bitch. There's an address for the fan club and Manchester-based. Mentioned many times, I'm a huge Stranglers fan. This is actually Hugh Cornwell, and it was for the Nosferatu album. And the A-side, White Room. Yeah. Hugh Cornwell. The Modettes, girl group is my memory. That was a good single. White Mice. And one of my favorite singles that I played absolutely to death and really enjoyed both the A-side and the B-side was The Clash, White Man and Hammersmith Palais. What a great cover, or what a great label on that particular single. Backed with The Prisoner, The Clash. Another awesome single, Big Mouth Strikes Again, The Smiths. And what was the flip side of this one? So the A-side, Big Mouth Strikes Again. The B-side, Money Changes Everything. That is a dirty single. Dirty, dirty, filthy single, needs to be cleaned. Next one up, Dexy's Midnight Runners. So I I really enjoyed these guys. When they first came out, they everyone knows them from Come On Eileen, but when they first came out, they were a soul band. They had a tribute song to, I think, Geno Washington. And there was a line from one of their songs off of the first album. The first album was called Searching for the Young Soul Rebels. Really loved that album. Don't know if I've still got that or not. I hope so. And one of the lines from that single, or from that album, was, "If you're so anti-fashion, why not wear flares?" Which I thought was a great poke at the punks who were talking anarchy, but at the same time they, had to very regimented uniform. You had to have stovepipe jeans and look a certain way, and if you wore flares, you were a fucking hippie. But that first record was really awesome. This is a little bit later, I think maybe the second album, Soulfinger, backed with Plan B. There's Kevin Rowland. He was very sort of sincere, almost to a fault, like kind of very serious about the look and everything of the band. And when I did I may have told this story before, but when I went backpacking in 1981, I had arranged my arrival into England around Dexy's Midnight Runners doing a tour of the UK. And I wanted to go see them in Brighton because I was a huge Who Quadrophenia fan. So the obsessiveness, I tried to get a train out of the station in London going down to Brighton, and I was hoping to get a train, ultimately the 5:15. I was trying to get the 5:15. No luck, but it was around that time. Went to Brighton, walked along the beach, sang Love Rain O'er Me, walked out on the pier, yelled Bellboy into the open doors of the Grand Hotel. But sadly, and this is the beginning of my trip, Dexy's Midnight Runners had canceled their tour, so there was no show in Brighton, so missed that opportunity. But I still love the story of what I was trying to create. The Revillos. So they originally started out as the Rezillos and wore these kind of like space outfits. Super populated Land of a Thousand Dances and bands like that. Songs like that. Really fun to see live. I saw them at the El Macombo one time, and very high energy. Scuba Scuba, the single here, side one, Scuba Scuba, and Scuba Boy Bop. Very fun single. And lastly, this is a band called the Bicycle Thieves. This goes out to friends of mine as well, but Andy Malcolm, a great friend of mine from university days, and Bicycle Thieves with Steve Perry, and did some great music together, and used to love their music. And Andy passed away, unfortunately, and but it's really nice to have his music, and it lives on. So that's it for this time. Again, I'll figure out what number this is of Singles Going Steady, and have a great day. Carpe diem.